Good morning. I'd like to welcome all of you this morning. My name is Era. My pronouns are she, her, and I'm a middle-aged woman with short hair. You can't hear me? Is this better if I stand closer? Okay, let me move the book so I can still read it. Thank you, Ross. Whether you are with us on site or on Zoom, and whether it is your first time here or one of many times, we are glad you are here with us. We hope that you can stay for coffee or tea and conversation after the service. The chalice lighter in the sanctuary is Kathleen. Our chalice lighting words are "The Flame Arising from Us" by Reverend Scott Taylor. We gather knowing that our light can't reconstitute itself. Without each other, a coldness sits in. Leaning on each other, trusting each other, helping each other fall back in love with life over and over again. Only from this does the flame emerge. Today, may it rise again.
To put a smile on your face, is there? My name is Jennifer Dunn. I go by she, her pronouns, and as always, I'm delighted to be here with my UU family. Today we have a storybook video for you called All Because You Matter by Tammy Charles and illustrated by Brian Collier. This month our theme is embodying resilience. We often talk about resilience as bouncing back or pushing through. But there's another kind of resilience that matters just as much, the kind that is learned, held, and shared across generations through family and community. This story reminds us that resilience doesn't always look loud or heroic. Sometimes it looks like being reminded again and again that you matter. You always have, and the people that came before you wanted to make sure that you know that too.
All Because You Matter, written by Tammy Charles, illustrated by Brian Collier. They say that matter is all things that make up the universe. Energy, stars, space. If that's the case, then you, dear child, matter. Long before you took your place in this world, you were dreamed of, like a knapsack full of wishes, carried on the backs of your ancestors as they created empires, pyramids, legacies. Building, inventing, working beneath red-hot suns and cold blue moons, thinking of you years ahead. Because to them, you always mattered. On the night you were born, stars spread across the sky, each one full of light, hope, love, and all the moments in your life that would matter. Like your first steps, bare feet planted on cold floor, hobbling, wobbling, toppling, only to stand and try again. Or your first words, spoken almost like a lullaby, notes climbing a ladder to the sky. Mama, Papa, Mahal Kita. Or the first time you opened a book, like a mirror staring back at you, and really saw yourself. Same hair, same skin, same dreams. The words and pictures coming together like sweet jam on toast. Musica blasting through barrios, sun and blue sky, all because you matter. But in galaxies far away, it may seem that light does not always reach lonely planets, covered moons, stars unseen, as if matter no longer exists. And just like moons hidden in the dark, there will be times when you too will question your place in the universe. Like the time you'll hear the teacher call your name, Osam, Ozamaka, or Dennis, and the whispers and giggles begin, followed by, "What kind of name is that?" Or the time you'll see a letter, big, bold, read on the page, and you will question if you and your work and your effort matter. Or the time when your pop-pop turns on the news and you see people everywhere take a breath, take a stand, take a knee. And you hear pop-pop's whispered prayers as another name is called, Trayvon, Tamir, Philando, and you wonder if they or you will ever matter. But did you know that you do? Did you know that you were born from queens, chiefs, legends? Did you know that you are the earth? That strength, power, and beauty lie within you? Did you know that you are sun rays, calm like ocean waves, tough like montañas, magic like stars in space? And on the day the universe was created, you were thought of, dreamed of, carried like a knapsack full of wishes as planets, stars, moons took their places, making room for you, your people, their dreams, your future, all because, since the beginning of time, you mattered, they mattered, we matter, and always will.
All right, it is time for each of you to light your little chalices if you haven't done so already, and take them with you, remembering that they represent the light and the love of everyone here going with you. We will all sing On Your Way to You now as you head downstairs. The prelude is My Lord, What a Morning, an African-American spiritual arranged by Melva Costin and performed by Eva.
that was beautiful. Our words of invitation today are Grounding Practice by Reverend Darcy Lane. So let's take a moment to fully arrive. Look around at all those faces on your screen and next to you that we have the joy of being with this morning. Also, notice the place where your body is this morning, what you see, what you hear. Check in with yourself. What do you notice about how you come today? How do you feel? Excited, happy, tired, worried? Maybe a bunch of things at once? Notice what is holding you up right now. Is it a chair? Is it the ground under your feet? Take a look at it with your eyes. We don't often look at the floor, our feet. And now notice with your inner eye what it feels like to inhabit your feet, to rest into whatever is touching the seat or the floor. I like to imagine I'm a tree, that I can feel my roots going down through my legs, through my feet and my toes, deep into the ground. If you want, you can stretch your arms up into the air, wiggle your fingers, your arms like branches in the wind, and feel connected all the way up from the earth beneath your feet, beneath your seat, all of you from feet to fingers, supported and held by the earth beneath you. Our hymn of the month for February is Just as Long as I Have Breath. The first stanza is about saying yes to life. We have many current examples of people out in the streets and in other ways providing fulsome support for those facing injustice. This is admirable. It can also be intimidating. It is worthwhile to remember that there are times when the act of getting out of bed, getting dressed, and getting through the day is also very definitely saying yes to life. Let us sing together, Just as Long as I Have Breath. It is number 6 in the gray hymnal. The words will also be on the screens. You are welcome to stand or remain seated as we lift our voices in song.
I'm Millie. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a member of the Pastoral Care Circle. Today I'm wearing a bright pink turtleneck with a gray jacket and gray slacks. As a community, we share joys and concerns to keep connected. Slips of paper are available at the greeters table for those in the sanctuary to use for joys and concerns. During the week, you may send your joys and concerns by email to pastoralcare@springfielduu.org or by leaving a voicemail on the church phone 417-883-3922. If you're on Zoom, please use the chat box now for sharing your joys and concerns. All of these joys and concerns will be included in the members' email on Tuesday. This morning, Kathleen will be lighting the candles for us. And now, as we begin this time of sharing, know that though we are in multiple physical spaces, we are together in beloved community. To begin, we hold in love all of us, those present and those absent. We light a candle for our church community. We'll check the chat box. Well, we've got a few before that, I think. From Eileen McKenna, this is more in the form of an announcement. Today is the birthday lunch. It's going to be on the hill, or at the hill, 600 East Battlefield. Another more or less announcement. Michael says that the pagan group is meeting today after the service downstairs. This is a concern from Sherry, a concern for all of the children in the custody of ICE. Their physical and psychological well-being is imperiled. What shall we do? A joy from Violet. A joy. I think it's that Violet took her first steps last week and will be a year old on Thursday. Is that right? Okay. Thursday's a big birthday day, evidently, because I found out yesterday at the Date with Death Club that Mary Rome, right here in the first row, is having a birthday Thursday, and she shares that birthday with Lincoln. She's very happy about that. And she will be 96. I don't see anything on the chat box, so we will just continue. We honor the complex and heartbreaking struggles of our world. We light a candle for all who are impacted. In closing, for those joys and concerns that remain unspoken in our hearts, we light a candle. May we hold each of these joys and concerns in our hearts and minds. May our community of love ease sorrow and boost celebration. Let us now join together in 1 minute of shared silence, followed by Spirit of Life.
Good morning. I am Reverend Michelle Scott Huffman. I am the minister here at First UU. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a middle-aged, pale-skinned woman with short, spiky, salt and pepper hair. The color of the plaid today is red. Some people would say red and pink, but I don't think so. And you are?
My name is Pharaoh. I use she, her pronouns. I'm in the membership committee and on the board of trustees. White lady in my 40s. Happy to be here today. Okay. So, the Reverend A. Powell Davies wrote that joining a church such as ours means essentially three things. You are in fundamental sympathy with the principles of freedom and reason in religion and life. This is the basis for our creedless church. You commit yourself to the importance of an organized religious fellowship. Ideas and ideals must have a vehicle and embodiment in the world. People who think and work together for the values in which they believe have a better chance of achieving them than people who do not. You accept the responsibilities that go with membership in any human community. Within the limits of your ability and in line with your personal choice, you are ready to give energy, time, money, and best thought to the furthering of the ideas you prize.
Today, I am pleased to recognize the individuals who have most recently completed the process for becoming official members of First UU. They've completed an orientation through Pathways to Membership, a build-your-own curriculum process, and are ready to sign the membership book, which will happen after the service today. So I'd like to invite to come to the front Amber Baldwin, Wyatt Archer, Holly Graves, Tate Aldrich, Jennifer Sizemore, and I don't see Caro. Is Caro here? We're missing Caro. Okay. Welcome, friends.
By becoming a member of a Unitarian Universalist church community, you join all of us in accepting responsibility for the welfare and extension of liberal religion and affirming the principles of Unitarian Universalism. You bring to the church your unique talents, energy, conviction, and financial support, knowing that our community will prosper as we invest ourselves in it. I will ask now that the members of the congregation stand or enter into any posture of welcome you prefer. After the affirmation by the new members, I invite the congregation to read the response together, the words of which will be posted on the screen.
So I'll invite the incoming members to affirm their intent to become members of this community. I offer my commitment to this church community, to all its members and children, and to the mission of the congregation and the guiding principles of Unitarian Universalism. I offer the energy of my heart, my mind, and my hands that we may all grow in spirit, in hope, and in understanding. Do you affirm to uphold this commitment? If so, please respond with, I do. I do. And the congregation, read these words with me. We, the members of the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Springfield, honor and celebrate your decision to join our common search and become part of our beloved community. Your presence here will enrich us, and your offer of yourself encourages us all toward a life of greater wholeness. We covenant with you and with each other to honor the basic principles of mutual respect and service. We understand that when you join us, our community is forever changed, and here and now, we embrace you as a part of us. Welcome.
On behalf of the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Springfield, yes, you can sit. This is a happy occasion for all of us. We know that your presence will enrich our beloved community. We offer you a small gift to honor and commemorate your decision to join us. Now, united as one beloved community, let us be about the great work we share. If First UU membership is on your mind, we'd love to talk more about it. The three-part Pathways to Membership conversations leading up to our next new member welcome will begin next Sunday, February 15th, after our Sunday service.
Welcome, everyone. The week of February 8th in UU history. William Rathbone was born in Liverpool, England on February 11th, 1819. He was a merchant, ship owner, member of Parliament, and lifelong Unitarian. He helped establish University College at Liverpool, then another in Bangor, and one in Wales. He said wealth, after reasonable expenses for himself and his family, was, quote, a trust for which he owes an account to himself, to his fellow men, and to God. It is not an absolute freehold which we may use solely for personal enjoyment and indulgence, close quote. I don't think there were gold toilets at that time, but I imagine that he would have a decided opinion on that. He refused a peerage because it would entail expense that he wanted saved for charity. On Rathbone's death, the Liverpool Post described him as one of the grandest old men whom Liverpool has ever claimed as a son. He died at the age of 83 in March of 1902. Every week in our church, we take up an offering. It's good to remind ourselves from time to time that the offering is symbolic as well as practical. We know that it is through pledges that we build our budget and fund our yearly programs and ministries of worship and religious education. We pay our staff and professional religious leaders and finance the comfort and beauty of our buildings. And we know that we could easily submit those pledge checks to the church at any convenient time. But we pass the plate during our worship service to make a community expression of thanks for the blessing of abundance, to visibly bring in the harvest at this most cherished hour of our week. Our offering says that the act of giving is as essential to our spiritual well-being as anything else we do here on Sunday mornings. The morning offering will now be given and received in the spirit of grateful fellowship. If electronic giving is your preferred method, or if you are on Zoom, virtual giving options are available via our website, springfielduu.org. The offertory is Thina Simunye, a traditional Zulu song performed by the choir. Teddy Leifer, the filmmaker who made a documentary with Zulu children singing this song, gave us permission to use it in the service.
Hello again. Don't mind me throwing things on the ground. So we are talking about resilience this month. And today I want to talk a little bit about getting honest about resilience. So if I asked you to think about the word resilience and tell me what word comes to mind, for many of us we might think of a rubber band, right? We pull it, it snaps back into place. We pull it, it snaps back into place. You stretch it, twist it, pull it to its breaking point, and it keeps returning to its original shape until it doesn't, right? I have here a rubber band that has a little bit of life on it, a little bit of experience. It's been pulled and snapped and pulled and snapped and pulled and snapped, and eventually what will happen is it just breaks apart, right? So I want to think today about resilience as something beyond the image of bouncing back. Because the definition of resilience that says that it's pushing through or bouncing back is incomplete at best, and probably more like dishonest. Because we all know that the rubber band, after it stretches and wears out, eventually breaks. Most often right when we need it to hold in place. There's not much in the physical or spiritual world that truly bounces back. When we go through profound loss, deep change, or systemic injustice, we don't snap back to who we were before. We're changed. If resilience is just about pushing through and returning to normal, then every time we feel changed by our grief, we feel like we've failed and we haven't built resilience. Psychologist Alan Fogel offers us a different image in his book, Body Sense. He suggests that the push-through version of resilience is like trying to hold a giant beach ball underwater. You've done this before, right? Sure, you can do it. But it takes constant draining effort. Your muscles are tense, your breath becomes shallow, your entire focus narrows to keeping that ball suppressed under the water. Fogel teaches us that that isn't resilience, it's just suppression. And eventually your arms get tired. You have to take deep breaths. And you have to let it go. And when you do, when the ball comes out from under the water in a way that you didn't let it come out, it comes out in a way that's unpredictable, possibly dangerous. If it were something heavier than a beach ball, it's probably going to hit somebody in the face. And you don't know where it's going to go. Fogel would say that true resilience is just letting the beach ball float up. It looks messy on the surface. It might float off a little ways. It changes the landscape of the water, but it doesn't require your effort to hold down anymore. This is what we mean when we talk about embodying resilience. Not hiding the struggle in our bodies, but feeling it, letting it be what it is, so that we can be transformed by whatever it is that we're experiencing. The work of embodying resilience asks us to stop pretending that resilience is a solo project, where we grit our teeth and bear it alone. As the activist Soraya Chemaly writes, she's a Bahamian American whose books include Rage Becomes Her, All We Want Is Everything, and The Resilience Myth. She reminds us that our mainstream vision of resilience is often just arrogance. It glorifies self-sufficiency and ignores our greatest asset, which is our relationships, our community. So today we'll try a different definition of resilience, one from Edith Henderson Grotberg, a pioneer in the field of resilience science. And she defines resilience as the human capacity to deal with, overcome, learn from, and even be transformed by adversity. Transformed and not returned. And much of what we're talking about today is individual resilience that takes place in community. But I want to say that on a systemic level, one of the things that we might pull out of this today is that even in the adverse moment that we find ourselves in our society right now, our goal cannot be to bounce back. Because the place that we came from is not the place that we need to go to. The goal in dealing with adversity in our lives is transformation. Grotberg offers a framework for this. She suggests that there are 3 building blocks to resilience, and she names them as I have, I am, and I can. I have meaning our external supports, the people who love us, the structures that hold us, everything outside of ourselves that help us to deal with the adversity that we're dealing with. I am is our internal strength, our sense of being lovable, responsible, hopeful, worthy, able, all of the things. And I can includes our interpersonal skills, our ability to communicate, to solve problems, to gauge the temper of others, to read the situation and know what the best response might be. A dishonest version of resilience focuses entirely on I can. Sometimes a little bit of I am. Totally ignores I have. Today I want to suggest that you cannot have the I can without the I have. There's a wonderful author, if you don't know him, his name is Daniel Black. He is a black man who writes about the resilience that he has experienced in his life and the I haves that have contributed to that. His book is called Black on Black. And he writes powerfully about his grandmother. He's a queer man, an academic, and he lives a very different life than his rural, very religious world of his elders. And he writes that his grandmother didn't necessarily understand his world, if you can imagine. But she possessed a kind of quiet, what he calls yin energy. She provided a space where he was simply beloved. She offered a hedgerow of protection, as she would have said in her religious speak. Alan Fogel calls this co-regulation. It's the biological reality that we literally borrow the nervous system of safe people in our presence. When we are someone calm, accepting, and loving, like Black's grandmother for him, our own heart rate slows down. Our breathing deepens. Our body realizes it is safe to stop fighting. And we can say, I have external support. We can't do this alone. And we don't just have bodies, we are bodies, and our bodies learn resilience from other bodies. So who or what constitutes your I have? Who or what helps you let go of the beach ball and let it float to the top? Once we are held in that safety, we can move to I am. The dishonest version of resilience says, I am tough, I don't feel pain. The embodied version says, I am porous, I can feel everything. Fogel distinguishes between those two states. One is modulated, where we are coping, planning, and thinking our way through problems, and that's useful. But deep resilience requires a second state, restorative, embodied self-awareness. It's the state of letting go. It's the moment you stop holding it all together and finally cry. It's the moment you stop analyzing your grief and just feel the knot in your chest. Fogel argues that we cannot heal what we cannot feel. If we are numb to our bodies, we lose our interoception, which is our ability to feel our own heartbeat and gut. We lose our guidance system. So the I am part of this framework says I am willing to feel. When things don't work out right, I can feel the feelings that come with that. I can say, I'm disappointed, and I'm feeling that disappointment in my stomach or my chest right now. That honest feeling is the pathway to letting the beach ball float up. If you don't have someone asking you regularly, where do you feel that in your body? I recommend you find someone. For me, it's my spiritual director. She does spiritual direction from a somatic Enneagram perspective, and everything I say that I think I'm just going to get by with, she says, stop. Where do you feel that in your body? And I'm like, darn it. Because then I have to really get to it, right? I have to really feel what's going on there, which is the beginning point of healing and allowing the transformation to come. When we recognize what we have and we're able to name the things that we come after I am, then we can move to I can. Daniel Black shares another story in his book about a professor at his historically black college who was notoriously difficult. He demanded excellence. He critiqued their speech and logic. He was teaching them the I can skills to navigate a hostile world. But here's the somatic twist. You can't learn those high-level skills if your body is in panic mode. Fogel suggests that one of the most resilient skills we have is the ability to pause before we react. Before we push through, we pause to sense our body. That might sound like my chest is tight. I need to say no to this request. My legs are restless. I need to take a walk before I have this difficult conversation. That professor pushed them to excellence, but he did it within a community of love. He taught them that I can arises from a regulated, focused, and honest body. So what happens when we have all the support, we have all the skills, and things still don't work out? We applied for the job and didn't get it. We tried to save the relationship, but it still ended. We fight for justice and the law doesn't pass. This dishonest version of resilience says, you didn't try hard enough. Push through. But the honest version says, this is a moment of transformation. Some of you are a part of Soul Matters small groups in this church. And we have packets that go with the monthly theme, and we engage them individually. And in the last week of the month, we come together and we talk about our engagement with those packets. And this month's Soul Matters small group packet has something called the failure resume. The idea is to write down the things that didn't go right, the rejected applications, the failed projects, and look at them not as shame, but as data. This brings us back to I am. When we fail, the resilient spirit doesn't say, I am a failure. It says, I am a learner. It says, I am willing to try something scary. It says, I am persistent. Daniel Black notes that the spiritual technology of his ancestors, the spirituals, the blues, the jazz, wasn't created because everything was going right. It was created because things were going wrong, and they needed a way to metabolize that pain into beauty. They took the I have and the I can and created a new I am. I am free in my spirit, even if I am not free in my body. So, friends, let us be honest about resilience this week. Let's stop trying to be rubber bands. You're not meant to snap back to where you were before. You're being called to be transformed. Check your foundations. I have. Do you have people to lean on? If you don't think you do, let this community be that for you. I can. Are you willing to learn new skills even when it's hard? I am. Can you look at your failures and your scars and say, I am still worthy, I am still lovable? Resilience is not a solo climb to the top of the mountain. It's the grandmother holding the space. It's the teacher pushing us to be better. It's the choir singing the blues when the world is dark. Let's set out to build that kind of resilience together. May it be so. Blessed be, and amen. The interlude is, oh goodness, Ashokan Farewell from Ken Burns' film The Civil War by Jay Unger and performed by Eva. You should know that when I stand up here and offer a message, I know the word sermon is kind of makes some of you squirm in your seats a little bit. I still do call it a sermon. But that doesn't come from me. It comes from conversation with people who know things. I don't claim to know any things. And each week, as I'm preparing a sermon, I do so in conversation with lots of different ideas and authors and belief systems. And so one of the things that I decided I would like to do is share with you the places where some of those things come from. So Adam is posting in the Zoom chat right now, and on the board over there, there's a piece of paper with a picture of 4 book covers. And those are the 4 books that I was in conversation with as I wove together this week's sermon. So if you choose, if you're ever like going into a week where you have free time and you think, I want to read something this week, hopefully something over there will be interesting to you and we can continue the conversation. Our closing words today are from Eric Williams. My friends, may the spirit of love be a living flame before you, a guiding star above you, a firm path below you, and a gentle presence behind you. Our final hymn today is, I Am That Great and Fiery Force. The words are drawn from the mystic poetry of Hildegard of Bingen, who lived from 1098 to 1170 of the Common Era. These words make note of all the ways that we can experience or see the sacred in the natural world. And you might find that the verses start with something like, I am. The second verse starts with, I shine. And the next one is, I breathe. It's number 27 in the gray hymnal, and the words will be on the screens. Feel free to sit or stand, whatever's comfortable for you. If you are standing, remain standing for the closing of our service. Just a reminder not to run out the door, but to run that way to have conversation with people. There are some prompts for coffee conversation on the board there. I would love for everyone to meet someone new today. If you are joining the church today, this is the fancy book that gets written down in. So I'll invite you to come up here to sign the book. If you have joined the church and any time in the last few years, it's quite possible that the book was missing when that happened. And you might also need to sign the book today. So it will be up here for anyone who has joined the church but has yet to sign the book. And now join us in our chalice extinguishing words as we extinguish our communal and personal chalices. Our service here is ending. Our service to the world begins anew. Go in peace, friends.